Okay, so we have Stork in the bottom left. We have Best in the upper right. It's a one-on-one map. You can do things like proxy gate on this map, but I don't think we're going to have it this time around.
Yeah, I don't think so. These two are too good for that. Not going to fall for that shenanigans. But, I mean, it's very highly entertaining for me when both Protoss players on this map go DT, because then they just immediately get into High Templar drops, and that just gets ludicrous.
We're taking a look at the different signs. Someone is going to win a keyboard, a mouse, a headset.
Yeah, not him, but somebody.
Somebody. I don't know. I think it's still going to the guy that had the really good
the Marine.
The Marine on there.
Yeah, that was best sign.
I almost thought it was in game for a second, then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's a drawing with marker.
Like, wait, did they remastered?
Yeah, what's going on here? That's really zoomed in.
Well,
so a lot of times in PvP, people are scouting late for PvP, I should say. So to start things off, there's one of two builds you see, and there's one you tend to see more at the pro level, but there's two gateways openings, and then there's one gateway openings. The two gateway is engineered to try to kill probes. You can do it where you're trying to end the game right away and man or pylon them. By the way, we see Stork checking for proxies. He knows. Master of builds. And the only problem with that, because it can be pretty tough to stop. Anybody who's played like any StarCraft at all has dealt with a 2-gate from someone who's good, and people that are good at controlling it can really kill you. But you know, the problem is that if you hold it off, you got your gas before them, so then you get your robo before them, or your DTs before them, and you're kind of playing from this weird spot. So we usually see both players go for gas into cybernetic score. Now Stork's doing a variation of this where he's going to get a few more probes to get the gas slightly later, which is still fine. It's the same idea. And it used to be players would always skip a Zealot and get a Dragoon. Almost always, I should say. But then there was this whole technique called man or pylon that people started figuring out. And that's where you build a pylon in their mineral patch and lock one of the probes in there so it can't get out. And it looks funny math-wise because you would say, well, that can't be cost-effective, right? Well, it turns out it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of players get a Zealot out basically to preempt that. So if you do start man or piloting them, the Zealot kills it so fast that you done goofed.
Yeah.
As Socrates said.
Yeah. The ancient Greek text.
That's right.
Thou done goofest.
Thou done goofed. So from here we have the tech up. So then there's another set of branches in the decision tree. One is you go for a quick DT. Let's just get that one out of the way right away here. Quick DT. Of course, if they don't get the detection, they die. But there's also ways to leverage it positionally if they don't die. The other one is to get a robo in either there. You go for observers into mass goons, or you get a shuttle and reaver, and you can get observers as well. And then the other branch, going back a second, is from the DT or robo, is to actually go 3-gate goon. Which it's kind of weird, but sometimes 3-gate goon beats the guy that's going robo. There's sort of this soft version of rock, paper, scissors going on, where in theory one build should beat the other one, and that build should beat the other one. The most common of all of these three in televised matches, and I don't have the stats with me, but I believe this is it, is you go for Dragoon Reaver. That's the most common. Now, we're seeing one final thing that you can do in this case is you can make a quick Nexus, but it's super risky.
Yeah.
Because you can actually counter a quick Nexus with all three of the builds. Okay, hold on. This is actually so huge.
Yeah, can he actually see that tech?
He needs to arc to the right. Oh, the body blocking. Peekaboo, nerd.
Man, Best cannot be happy with that. What do you do now that was scouted? Like, doesn't this just put Stork at a gigantic advantage?
One thing you can do is you can make a Nexus, and you just don't go DTs, because they still have to answer to the DTs.
Indeed, they do.
Unless you're playing the craziest mind game ever.
No.
So what he's going to do is he's making it look like he goes DTs, but he's not.
But now he has to get a Forge, he has to get a Cannon to make sure he doesn't die to DTs because he didn't get that type of scout off. Meanwhile, Stork, faster Nexus, getting his robo up. Everything's feeling really nice for Stork.
So, just real quick, to complete that big picture PvP thing, So you can get that quick Nexus, but it's countered by almost everything. But if you can deny their scouting really well, you'll just sneak the Nexus out and they didn't respond correctly, and then the momentum kicks in.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying that against just normal players, getting a quick Nexus, you'll be dying all the time. Especially if you're against a player who's not really a thinking player, but just memorizes builds. He's like, oh, you can't get a Nexus, and he just runs in there and kills you.
Yeah, I guess I can't. But look, Stork seems to be in very good shape this game. What do you think are some good comeback mechanics here for Best? Like, how does he fight back into it?
Well, it's hard, right?
Certainly.
I would say that you get a lot more gateways. I think you need to have Storm because you're afraid of a push. And you kind of hope that you can zone out their Reaver tech if they go for that. And I actually think there's a chance that Stork doesn't, by the way. Because I think Stork already knows the fact that he has not seen a single DT. He's saying, okay, he's going to have Templars really fast, right?
Yeah.
Because that gas goes into Templars.
So is he looking to just do quick Storm drops here? Because those are so strong on Blue Storm. That's why they call it Blue Storm.
You're very good. And what color is Storm? Blue.
Oh, I thought that blue part was because the map was blue. But, yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's a common misconception about the map, Artosis.
Yeah. My bad.
So you eventually want to go into Storm drops. The quicker you get it, the better. But it's also not a bad idea to try to develop a pretty solid, tech over here. A lot of times when you see Storm drop used the most, and this is going to sound like it doesn't make sense, but just bear with me here, is when they've gone for the Reaver play. Because a lot of times if they both go for Reaver play, they had to get shuttle speed. And then the moment that you have a safe expansion, you want to go so fast into Storm drop. Because there's almost nothing they can do to try to stop it. They'll have Dragoons out there, but the Templars are going to unload.
Yeah. And the Storms are going to get off, and the Probes are going to die.
Yeah.
He actually scouts perfectly with his Observer here. He sees 3 High Templars at the natural and a Robo on the way. So if that does not scream Storm drop, I don't know what does, but I like this. That Stork is actually just taking an additional base.
Yeah, he's really
going
good.
to have more units. That's it. Like, his Nexuses are quicker. His scouting is better.
And you know what? Normally you probably wouldn't want to get a Nexus that fast, but I think this game's gotten so weird that it's like you're upgrading Psystorm now and you're making a Nexus, which doesn't even seem like it makes sense, but you can do it.
Yeah. We got a lot of gateways coming up from Stork.
I'm sorry. Best does not have a Robo, right?
He does have a Robo. It just is finishing at the natural now.
I did not see that. So, yeah, I mean, Storm drop's very good, especially on this map, so let's wait and see what happens. There's also the chance that Stork has enough and Best realizes, oh no, I don't have a Nexus over here at my third, and scrambles to get that, and by then Stork has muscle on the map and just keeps him off of that, and that's also another way to just win the game.
Well, Stork coming over right now to put some pressure on. I don't think he can really attack in or anything between the 2 Photon Cans and Psystorm. But I'm interested to see how well this drop does, because Stork isn't... Like, what Stork is doing here economically is getting far ahead economically, but Best can really hinder that if he gets a good Storm drop off. Storm kills Probes, like, unbelievably fast. Probes are actually the thing that dies most to Storm.
Yeah.
Like, because drones don't get the same saturation as Probes.
Right.
Probes just evaporate. It's insane.
Well, any expansion Protoss has, if he's playing correctly, has a ton of probes.
Yeah.
Where with Zerg, they operate off of a lower number of drones. So a good Storm drop on a Zerg is like, oh my god, he killed 4 drones. Where a good Storm drop on a Protoss player, it's like, he killed 11 probes. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So Best is going to come out on the map now. Best expanded later. So in theory, he might have a bigger army. Oh, wow, a Dark Archon. So this is for feedback.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're seeing this, because I feel like I say this sometimes in cast and it never happens, and there's probably nerds yelling at their monitor like, nobody does that, but occasionally you will actually see this used. And so feedback is one of the spells that it casts itself faster than any other spell.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see a difference in spell casting, try casting feedback and seeing how fast that goes, and then try casting stasis. And you're like, oh, wow.
So you're saying that there's a spell that's quicker than stasis?
Yes.
Wow. That is fast. Okay, some Psystorm's actually going down on this Dark Archon.
He tried to empty the Templars really fast to do some damage. But what Best was, what Stork was trying to do was burst forward and feedback the Templars. And feedback's only 50 energy.
That's right.
And pretty much, I mean, Templars don't have a lot of HP, so like every time they get fed backed,
yeah.
they
if
die.
it's high energy, yeah, they go
they
out.
disappear.
But if you throw your storms out that quickly, he got them to pretty low energy, so I think that's why we saw 0 feedbacks there as well. Is he's like, oh, I'm not going to kill one. Okay, let's save this.
Okay, here we go. Storm drop.
Ooh, this could be huge. He has an observer there, but Stork not moving. Oh, he moves him. He moves him.
Look at that.
Wow, and the
Tough
double
decision.
cannon.
Best was like, okay, do I want to try this? And he says, nah. Save it for later. Maybe save it for when a fight's happening, you know?
Yeah.
For maybe when Stork's maxed out at his multitasking. Also with feedback, the range on feedback is hilarious.
Yeah, it is very, very long. And I mean, a lot of people watching this probably are StarCraft 2 people. It's just like feedback in StarCraft 2.
Right.
Except it's on the Dark Archon.
Yeah.
Or the Red Archon, as they should be called.
As Artosis calls it.
Yes.
I like how you call it like a Red Archon, like it's like an albino or something. Like, oh, wow, it's like...
A Red Archon, look at that.
Here we go.
Do we, though?
Here we don't go.
No.
Now he's going to look for an opening here.
Still looking
Even
for
with
that
Dragoons
storm
out,
drop.
it's kind of hard to catch this.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, great play.
Well, that's pretty darn good for Stork. Now, Best going to start moving out. He does have a lot of Psy Storm here. He's actually down 30 supply.
Well, I mean,
that shows you the kicking in of the economy of Stork.
Yeah, I mean, Stork's played a pretty good game. Now, Best actually took a 4th base quicker and is hoping that Stork won't try to attack into him.
And do you know what, Tasteless?
What's up?
I think Stork has played just a beautiful and brilliant game. But the way that Best is playing, I think, is phenomenal because taking that quicker 4th and the fact that he's sitting back defensively with Storm. Storm is way more powerful defensively than offensively.
Can I say something real quick here?
Okay.
I am probably wrong, but I'm just wondering, with the way some of these Dark Archons have been positioned, if he also got mind control to catch a shuttle. Probably not.
It's so expensive.
But I wonder. Yeah, but I mean, it's expensive, right? But
yeah, I
mean, Stork is so ahead that it's actually not inappropriate.
What if he maelstroms the Zealots?
Whoa.
I mean, I would love to see a mind control. That would be amazing. You get everything in the shuttle, so it's actually like it can be very useful.
That's when we have to end the KSL. Even though we just started, we're like, well, we can't get better than that.
No. Okay, here he comes. But the thing is, there's a lot of Psy Storm up here. I don't think he breaks.
Watch this. Here we go. Ooh, good control there.
Oh.
Targets it down.
Yeah, and here come the Psy Storms now.
Storming his own observer. That's never good.
But he has so many storms here. Look at that, just blanketing Stork's army. Stork's also on low ground with a bunch of these Dragoons. Stork absolutely not going to break through.
Yeah. By the way, I'll wait until this fight's done to point it out. Okay, I guess it is done already. Something really subtle there by Best. He had huge chunks of his army on hold position spread out.
Yeah.
So that the storms that would have come from Stork wouldn't really work. And he just shoots out all his Templars and storms everything down and then blankets that. And when all the energy's gone, he says, all right.
Yeah.
And now Best is up like 50 supply.
Yeah. And this is where I have issue with what Stork did there, what I was talking about before. The mind control thing is Best is sitting here with a bunch of high Templars. What are you looking to do? And if you don't get your feedbacks off, he's going to massacre your army with the splash damage.
Yep. And this is great play by Best. And I actually think this game just seesawed into a win for Best.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Best is like, I've seen this before. Do you know I've played more hours of StarCraft, Best says, than some of the people watching this have been alive for. Okay? Craziness.
Man, some good Psy Storms do come out of Stork. Because we're getting closer to Stork's base, there's a possibility his rallies can end up holding, but this damage is serious.
You know, I think he's so close to the rallies that he can't even make Archons and get him over there effectively. Look at this. He's just streamlining the units over here.
I think that's about it.
Yep. Stork's in Trouble Town.
Yeah.
GG. Best takes that 1-0. Nice.
I think that, Stork played really well, and I loved all his moves. But I'm going to give that one, and I mean, Best won, so it's kind of stupid to say this, but I'm going to give that one to Best.
Yeah.
Because, the way that he recovered from this, and he kind of stayed on as close in supply as he could when he was down 30 supply, and the economy